Awesome.
Premium account. Oh, to remove. Okay. Okay. So do we just wait?
I don't see like what you see, so like.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Do you see people joining yet?
I really don't.
It's okay. It probably takes a few minutes. But
yeah, I'm sure people will join like at 4.
Does it look like Instagram Live or basically or?
That like is like a real kind of thing. This is more like a post kind of thing. Wait, let me show you how it. I feel like it gave me a preview. I can see ourselves. It's kind of weird.
I guess I won't find out until later. Which
Let
is
me
good.
see. I feel it's like a little laggy. I'll send it on our Slack.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen or watched a LinkedIn Live yet.
Same. I think I watched one of Grace's LinkedIn Lives.
I'm like, I probably shouldn't say anything I want right now.
There were like 200 people who registered on Loom. I hope like the Loom is working.
Luma? Yeah. The Luma links to the live link or can they also watch on StreamYard?
I think it's on. Wait 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. We still have time.
Okay, yeah, it's working. It's working. So the link is working. Everything's working. There are 24 people. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello.
We'll wait a few more minutes before we get started.
Yes.
Is this the first live? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see people saying hi. Hi.
Oh, hi. Okay, good. So this is Jen and I's like first live, I think.
Yeah, please excuse our technical
difficulties. Okay. Let's see how many people are on chat. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, please
Where
say
are you
hi.
based in?
Text hi if you're in the chat.
Yeah.
Feel free to do a little intro, like where you're calling from, what you're currently doing, and
Jen and I are based in SF right now. You know, it was so hot in SF suddenly. Like it was so hot.
I know.
And it never
like,
happens.
this is SoCal.
Yeah, like actually though.
Saying hi from Northern California. Yay.
Ooh, hello. Wait, even we're in Northern California. Nice.
Are most people here currently at school or I wonder?
United Kingdom, someone's from, but yeah, are you guys in school? Are you students? Are you working?
Oh, very diverse.
Very diverse, yeah. Okay, let me see how many people have joined.
I got Vancouver. I went to high school in Vancouver.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh my God, you're in Hawaii, Ryan. Nice. I'm so jealous. Like, what the hell? Oh, Carnegie Mellon. Congrats.
Oh, congrats, everyone who just graduated.
Yeah, just graduated from college. That's awesome. I was literally in your place a year ago.
For me, it's 2 years ago, and it feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, like actually, though. I don't even remember school. Actually, that's not true. Did you like school, Jen?
I loved it. I feel like
Yeah.
USC was like really good college experience, just like learning to not just like be good at subjects, but also like meet people and maintain connections, I think.
For sure. Yeah, like a college experience is great. I actually really miss it.
Well, you're pretty close to your school.
That is true. That is true. Okay, I think we can get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, awesome. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so glad to have you. And this is the first time Jen and I are actually like having a live together. So we're really excited. And today we want to get into how to get a design experience without a job. Like I said, I really do empathize with a lot of you guys. I just graduated. So I completely get like it could be very, it's a very taxing process because you don't really know what the industry experience like need is right now because the industry is kind of not doing so good. So so yeah, I hope this will help you guys. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A session. So feel free to add any questions or anything. And Jen, if you see like a nice question,
Yeah.
let us know and we can start. Okay, cool. Just a small intro about me. I'm Anvita. Hello. I am actually an engineer turned designer. I went to UMich for my master's program, and that's where I did ATI. And I kind of did my master's because I did not really feel engineering was for me. I was good at coding, but I didn't like it. And I wanted to always go to like a more creative thing, but I just didn't know what. And I heard about this program through like a senior, so I was like, okay, let me check it out. And I think like UMich really helped me with that, is like to see what streams I wanted and everything. But when it came to like actual industry experience, I don't think like school for personally for me, my school was very research oriented. So for design focused people, it was not that great. We had client projects and everything, but I do remember it being kind of unstructured, no mentors to help us. So we were just left out in the blue. So we were supposed to design everything from scratch from our like just like what we knew and what we studied in like classes. So we ended up not really getting the quality of the designs like to that level where people would ship it. So I did do a lot of client projects, but none of my projects actually got shipped. So when I graduated last year, May, I was like pretty confused and like I didn't know how to like navigate it because I wasn't getting any callbacks and it was kind of frustrating. But after like a few months and intensive search, I got placed at Pfizer and I'm the solo designer there at their innovation team. And it's a very engineering heavy team. So I have to work again, mostly alone. And it kind of brings me back to this time when I was doing my client, when I was doing the client stuff in Michigan, where I don't have someone to guide me or see like how good my designs were. So I felt like my growth for the company in the company wasn't really, it wasn't giving. I wanted to grow as a designer and I just couldn't see that. So that's when I actually came across UX Go. And I don't know, it seems fascinating. And I wanted real industry experience, and they told me that the mentors would help them like ship the product. And that to me, for some reason, got me really excited. So I joined the program, I completed their program, and I really liked their mission and everything. So I joined them as head of growth. So this is me being involved with them. And now over to Jen. I'm very curious about your background, your design experience, your journey, and your journey to Microsoft, and how your life is at Microsoft.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thanks, Mami. I feel like I learned a lot more about you. Mami was my in my internship cohort, and I was mentor with Leon, who's the founder of UX Go, and we did a really cool project that we're gonna talk about later. But I graduated from University of Southern California in LA in 2022. And I think I was lucky enough that like sort of in high school I knew I wanted to go like the direction of something that combines like art and science. And initially I
Yeah.
wanted to be an architect. And then I was searching like programs that are good for architecture, which obviously USC came up, but I came across this other program called Iving and Young Academy, which is like a interdisciplinary design major called Arts, Technology, and Business of Innovation. And sounds like
That's so
sort of
cool.
a mouthful to say, but we also are in like a cohort system. So there's like only 30 of us every year, and we would take like design classes, some coding classes, and some business classes, and a lot of it included like learning how to pitch, make pitch decks, like come up with ideas from scratch, and like some design thinking. But I would say because the program is pretty new, I think the most inspiring way to learn was to learn from my peers, and because everyone had like very cool different interests and backgrounds and super high achiever. So like people were getting like internships in sophomore year at like Apple and like Facebook and everything. And I think it helps that like, I mean, sometimes it helps that your school is connected, but if a lot of my other schoolmates at USC who are in like just design major, they would like join clubs. Like I think my friend actually started the first design club called NOD, and they have like client projects where they work on different design projects as they can add to their portfolio as case studies. But as Mami said, like I feel like a lot of them don't really get shipped, and you don't. And I feel like in the real world, when you're looking for a job, people are always looking for like how is your design impacting what the product is like, and like some data and like all that. But I know that like school projects, it could be hard to actually gain like the hands-on experience that when you're in a full-time job that can be actually be applicable. That's why I wanted to also join UX Go and help out like students that are looking for more real real life experience in working for a startup, working for a project that is going to see a meaningful like impact. And then I guess I met Leon at an event called Design the Future, which is Design Buddy's first conference. And I was a speaker there talking about like crafting Gen AI creation tool experiences. And I met all wonderful people there. And yeah, and like you guys are doing the right thing, like joining the design community and then talking to people and putting yourself out there.
Agreed.
So
yeah. Thank you for that, Jen. But I'm actually really curious. So when you were at USC and stuff, when you were graduating, like, what was the approach that you took to like apply to jobs, and like what led you to Microsoft?
yeah, I think I forgot to answer that question, but yeah, so like I think actually even though we're a design school, like UI UX design was never something that there was like any course to be taught at school. I think now there's like one course at the engineering school that taught UI UX design, but most of us just like learned by ourselves from kind of starting from just like giving yourself a prompt or thinking or like give yourself the prompt to like redesign like Airbnb or Uber experience, give yourself a problem to solve, or like actively trying to build some just muscles around design. I think, yeah, like first and foremost, your portfolio need to be how you tell your story when you apply to any sort of jobs, like internships as well. I remember, I think, like getting the first internship is always the hardest, but it doesn't have to be big. Like it can, my first internship, I remember it was actually in Shanghai because I'm international. And I interned at 2 companies at the same time, and none of them were like UI, like tech companies. One of them was like some like smart city tech government company, and the other one is like they make toys. But I tried to tailor myself and pitch myself to work on something that I think will build my portfolio for UI UX or for product design. So for example, I asked if they have any like interface or apps that they need to be redesigned. I sort of like put myself out there and tell the manager that I want to work on something that's going to build my portfolio in this direction. And then with that, and also with like school projects, like if you ever join these clubs at school or like work on any projects where there's like a bigger name attached to it, like it's not like you technically don't work for them, but you can say that you worked on their project, and that's really helpful as well. So yeah, I remember building my portfolio, and then in sophomore year I actually got an internship at like Apple, although I didn't go because I had other visa stuff, which I think international students, we can talk about that. And then so that didn't go through, and then I interned at like a startup portion of an entertainment company, and there it was also like they didn't have like a UI UX job. I was just like a designer doing like anything they want me to do with design, like brand guide, whatever. But I was like, oh, I want to design the writer producer platform that you guys are building. So it's a lot of it's like just like shamelessly asking for it.
As you should. You should.
I'm sure you've also been through similar stuff. But and then for Microsoft, I think it was like an internship application process. Honestly, sometimes the big tech like internship application process could be kind of obscure. Like you either get it back right away or you never hear back till like 3 years later, and you're like, what?
Yeah, like literally.
Yeah, so I think some of it is luck. Some of it is like just really putting a lot of applications out there, and I think sometimes you feel like you resonate a lot with like one company, right? Like you really interested in what they're doing, and when that's the case, I think it's easier to tell a story. And I also would say I interned at TikTok as well as a product prototyper on their AR effect platform. How I got that job is I basically went to a campus event, and I kind of just got connected with like the people like in person, and I kept in contact. And then when I wanted an internship, I was like, do you guys have any openings? And they sort of put me through this expedited process to like get interviews and like get onboarded. So I think being flexible and talking to people and putting yourself out there is definitely the way to go. And also I feel like this is later on, but like after you get your internship and get into your new job, it doesn't just end there, right? Like if we want our career to progress, we always want to be at the projects that the company values the most for, or like projects that you find the most interesting or emerging tech. So when I first interned at Microsoft, I learned about this new product that they're pitching, which is called Designer. And I was like, that's really cool. But then when I returned, they actually put me on another team, and I wrote a long email to say like I want to be on the other team. And then
Okay.
and I think that was like one of the best decisions I've made, so that I could get to work on projects that's like Gen AI focused, which is like really relevant to everything right now. So
Yeah, that's true. You literally hopped on the trend.
yeah, and that's why
And
I feel
also,
like, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I feel like a lot of people also like to get jobs. They like try to put yourself like out there like a little more differently, like how Jen like literally like wrote an email to her own like thing, like try to like step out. Like I know a few of them like make like why should you hire me videos and like articles about like why the company like they why they're the good fit for a company or something. So I feel like these are some things like people can do, right, to stand out.
Yeah, for sure. I think someone asked a good question. Do companies hire interns if you put school class projects to be a part of your portfolio? I'm a career changer and I want to get started to apply in internships, but I only have school projects here and there. Manvi, do you have any insights on that?
I feel I think that's a tricky one because personally, I also only had class projects and like case studies and stuff that I did in class, um, and that was not enough for this market. But I'm saying like specifically this market because it's not the best
Mm.
market. I feel if the market was good, yeah, people will definitely take you in. But right now, I think people like take other things in more value. It's just my perspective. What do you think, Jen?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely had uh, like underclassmen reaching out to me saying that the job market is kind of tough, like if things are enough or not. Yeah, I think like a lot of times the companies now like they would look at like more real life experience, and that's why like I think with like UX goes like class, like you actually work with a startup, and usually it's like a very renowned startup, at least in like, for example, we worked with Temple, which was backed by YC,
Yeah.
and maybe you want to segue.
So yeah, like getting into it, I know like that's most of our concern is like how do we get internship? Because right now we're not even getting internships. So and even I felt the same thing. I was in the same boat, and then I came across UX Go. But just to like see how me and Jen are involved and our work with like Design Buddies and UX Go, um, like we've spoken a lot about them, but now I just want to give like a small intro on what they are, so you for people who don't know. So Design Buddies is technically the largest design community in the world, and it's such a good community. I came to SF like 5 months ago, and Design Buddies I think was the first conference I went to, and I made lifelong friends. Like literally, my closest friends are from there. I met so many founders, and I met Jen, I met Leon, I met so many other people, and it's just such a good community to be around. Very helpful, very helpful, very nice, and they do really want to help you like someone like get a job or like mentorship or anything. And on the other hand, UXGo is all about its members and community. So it's like a whole platform where the main focus, the main goal of UXGo is technically to make you get a job. So that is their whole track. So they have like 800 plus members, and out of that, they are like 100% alums who got into top big tech companies, and that's kind of what they focus on. They want people to get into big tech, and that's their push. That's their model. And the services they provide is like broadly categorized into four. One is membership, which is like one-on-one coachings. You have like amazing coaches, which I'll talk about in a second, and Jen being one of them. But also there's like insights, which is like real life clips of mentorship from other students. Like a lot of students took like Amazon whiteboarding challenges with an Amazon employee. So those kind of things, and it's very insightful and it's really good. Then it's a 10-week internship program, and that is like the biggest one, and that's where I met Jen, and we both were part of that. She's my mentor, just FYI. Um, And this is like a really more advanced one, and I will talk about it in just a sec. Then it's the 8 week job hunting track. So suppose you say like, okay, I have enough experience, I have everything, I just want to curate it towards like a job. This is for you. And you have an AI powered job board, which also I will get to in a sec. So the 10-week internship program. So I'm gonna talk about like just like specifically like Jen and I, like we were part of our client was Tempo Labs, who got into IYC like last year, and I've literally worked with Kevin, and like it was amazing. And the reason why I was like really like this fancied me a lot because like the name YC is obviously so cool, right? Like I'm like a huge YC person, and I love the companies that come out of there. So I'm like, I would love to work on their product. And I got the chance literally. And with like mentorship from like senior designers and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And 60% of like, so Temple Labs, I think, had two cohorts. So the previous cohort, 60% of the team secured like full-time jobs, three of them landing like major tech companies. And also like they literally in this program, you go from end to end. That means from research to design to handoff. You go through everything in 10 weeks. And honestly, it's a great piece for your portfolio. It's a banger portfolio piece. It's and honestly a really good look on your resume. And it is application based. Just FYI, you have to apply and like interview to get into this program because like it gets pretty competitive. A lot of people do want to, apply for this, but we only have a few spots. And these are your mentors. Like your mentors are awesome. Like I personally met a few of them, and Jen being one. You get they're mentors from like Google, Microsoft, Pinterest, all the big companies, and they have connects with other people, and they're so willing to like help you and everything. So that's pretty great. So our involvement, other than the fact that this is the best community for job support, we have a mentor-mentee relationship through UX Go's advanced relation program, and we collaborated with Tempo Labs. So Jen and I, and with the team, we actually like designed 0 to 1 an AI agent product management tool, and it got like it's like how do I say it? I didn't know how to create components. I know I have a full-time job. Don't hate me for a design community, please, but I I didn't know how to make components. I didn't know like what a design spec was. And like I literally got to know about all of that while in this program. And this program is very directed towards big tech. So technically things that happen in big tech, I think they try to recreate it here with the PM and like creating such like amazing design specs and components and everything so structured. I've never learned this. And now I impress Pfizer folks like crazy. They're going to give me a raise soon. And also, our designs got shipped. I just saw it like a few days ago. So that's pretty cool, right? One for the win. And also, I didn't really want to do this, but I feel like it's fine. But just don't see my portfolio after this. But my portfolio got roasted by this influencer. It was really harsh, but she picked Tempo's case study to be the strongest one, even though I have a full-time job. And Pfizer, please don't go look at this. I'm going to take UX Go's help to make my portfolio better now. Anyway, now we're accepting applications. So, and we just wanted to show that we have like a really cool opportunity for you guys. And it's like an early bird buddy promotion just for you guys who will join this call. And if you bring your friend to the interview, I will put a link to it in just a sec. You'll each earn like 500 off of the program with your buddy. And this really doesn't affect matching or interviews or anything. And for people who think that, yeah, this is not for you, that's fine too. You can take the membership program. So the membership is like the one-on-one stuff. And if you use this code, which also I'll be posting it, you can actually get 50% off on the services. And so, yeah, just for today and just for you guys. So redeem it. I will be posting it, so don't worry about that. And check out our AI powered jobs. I will link it again, and join Design Buddies, you guys. It's really a great support place. This is free. It's great. Join the community. It's actually really helpful. We have talks, we have networking events all over the world. Grace, the CEO of founder of Design Buddies, is in Bali right now, and she's hosting like events there. So, um, so we have some questions, but before that, I feel like I want to ask Jen some questions about our interaction and our collaboration with Tempo. So, what made you decide to like sign up for the mentorship program at UXGo?
Yeah, for sure. I think meeting meeting Leon, and he really like hard pitched it to me. But also I think I've always heard about UXGo and like how big the design community is around Design Buddies.
Yeah.
But I think just after going through the program, I can confidently say that like as a mentor for the program, I also feel very honored, and I'm learning a lot because of it as well, because I get to work with students and help them craft a very convincing real life case study. I know like how much in school we would work with like a name a company on any project, and then that project would be good for job interviews, and this is like literally that opportunity. And I'm also getting experience myself as a design lead, because I'm not a manager at work yet, and but I'm getting a feel of how to lead a design team and just guide people through the thinking and review the designs and teach some like core skill sets that are useful. That it's great to see like people like Manvi and them learn so fast and like just apply it to the designs I end up producing. So just like sometimes I wish I had like more mentorship growing up in my own design journey, because I think a lot of it was self-learning for me, um, and like just learning from people on my team or like other peers. But I think like being in this expedited route with UXGo mentorship, you basically go from like 0 to 1 a lot faster. Um, and yeah, and I think forming teaching resources also make me challenge myself to like break it down to digestible content and like teach on how to approach ambiguous problems, deal with complex prompts, build design systems, maintaining consistency while also innovating. I think a lot of the things that I realized with real work experience, but then like I think being a mentor like helps me put it into digestible content that
Yeah.
can be easily sort of learned and like spread. And
Mm-hmm.
also just like getting to work with cool startups, and if the project goes well, and then I can also use it as my portfolio for the future as well. So it's just like a win-win situation for everyone, and the startups get like really awesome new ideas from fresh perspectives. And
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah, thank you for that. But like, how like a lot of people on this chat also has this like question, like,
Yeah.
okay, like, is there another way like to get like this kind of experience, like the same like kind of experience, but like maybe without the program?
Yeah, well, I think like a lot of us have been here without joining a program like this, but again, like I think the economic situation was a lot better when
Yeah,
we were
I
looking for
agree.
internships. But I think
I think like the hackathons and stuff are also really,
yeah,
yeah, that design buddies have like a lot of hackathons that they do and design challenges that could also really help.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, like Jen also said, like shipping is like the word that's the golden word here. And for me also like shipping was like I wanted to ship a product. Like that was like my thing. because I thought that that's the way that I could make my resume look more interesting, which is why I thought like this could be a more easier way. I would say easier way, but um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I
it is
think
an easier way of getting that experience.
Yeah, for sure. I think just from a perspective of like a design manager looking at hundreds and thousands of applications and people's portfolios, it's pretty easy to spot like whose portfolio have a project, or like all you need is one or two very strong projects to be able to talk about an end-to-end story. So like it's this internship course is great in that like sometimes even when we work at big companies, we would work
Yeah.
on like a very small thing and it doesn't like ship until like a year later, or like a company like where the project gets delayed or something. So that would be hard to tell a full story. But when you have a portfolio piece that you can from end to end talk about the research that you did, the problem that you define, and then like the iterations that you went through to land from your low fidelity to high fidelity designs, and then prototypes, like all that process, like if you're able to confidently iterate and tell a story through that, that's like that beats the school projects that were kind of like practices a lot more. And I think I wish that I had this like much more structured way of thinking when I did these projects. And obviously, like when you do your projects today, you should sort of structure all of your presentations from like this end-to-end perspective, and that will already help a lot. And I'm pretty sure like the US Go website, like we have recorded these little courses and insights that you can watch. I think it's free, but
Yeah. I should be a member for that.
okay, yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
But we do provide all these like discounts, so it probably wouldn't be that bad.
It's really not. I feel like it's the cheapest. I feel it's cheapest resource. Like that's very goal oriented, if that makes sense. Like for example, I've done ADP List a lot. I have met like more than 25 mentors over the span of like 6 months. Um, and like I feel like they're more like a coffee chat kind of situation, and this is more like goal oriented kind of situation. There's a difference. Um, so yeah, I feel like that's the difference. Here people want to refer you, they want to help you, they like the motivation is like to bag the job, and they're going to help you with your decks like and portfolio structuring, how to tell a story and all those things. But in ADP it's more like yeah, sure, the portfolio reviews are there, but it's more than I think more than the content, it's more of the aesthetic that
Yeah,
comes out
less
first. Is
like
that's just,
less hand holding, right?
yeah, less hand holding for sure. Yeah, I like the way you phrased that. So then, Jen, what do you think about like the Tempo Labs and the thing that we worked on, our project, and why? Like, do you think that that's a good project? If so, like, why?
Yeah, I think the whole like mission and the founder's background and like everything was awesome. And also I think the founder was very easy to communicate with, and we got a taste of like how it would be like to work on client projects. And like and a lot of it is actually also new to me since I mostly work for like in-house team. So it's interesting to like work for a client. And I think a challenge that we managed to navigate through is to find like finding your way through ambiguous problem. So I think a lot of times the startup founders, they have a lot of ideas and they want to build everything as well. And it's also our job to like through our research and our design thinking skills to um, like help them like narrow down to what the core is asking, like all the core questions. And I think that's like a skill that is applicable to like design in any sense. And I think we got to practice that with Temple, which is great. Like sometimes you don't want the problem to be too easy, right? Like if they're like build exactly this, then I feel like you don't get as much like proactive thinking on what we want to define as our core problem and what are some of the main like end-to-end flow that we want to accomplish, what does the MVP looks like with versus the North Star designs. And those are all like key things that we like work through. And I think I would say like at the I think there was some review classes where you guys came in and you're like, what is going on? Or like, could you help us like reorganize everything, or like just like help clear the thinking a bit. And I think like doing those exercise actively, like we have like 1 hour, sometimes even longer sessions to just figure things out. And like, Mommy, what do you think? Like, do you think that helped like increase the quality of the output design?
Oh, 100%. I feel like that was like kind of the differentiator between what I've worked on before and like this project in itself is like we got like great feedback, and like especially from like senior designers like you and Leon, right? So I think getting that and getting your perspectives like definitely helped us get like a very like basic design to like that high level design that is good enough to ship. And I think that's a really important one to me, but also more than that for me was the story that we have created. So I feel like, so usually like how like people like recruiters probably like listen to this like, okay, they the basic story would be like, yeah, okay, this is a problem, this is the research that I did, this is the methods that I went through, and this is like the solution, and this is my reflection. Yeah, that's great. But the story that like I and my team have curated is, okay, so we got a problem, we started with our research, and then we pivoted big time, like complete pivot, and then how we adapted to that pivot, what we did to like make sure that the timeline doesn't like get disrupted because of that pivot, and then working towards that, and then again getting another pivot. Wow, what a roller coaster. And then getting that, and then scoping down the problem, and then like designing, testing, and then changing stuff again. Now that is a story that would probably be like exciting to like recruiters and design managers. So I think that is like my biggest like learnings is like how to adapt to like that situation of
I love
big
that.
and like, yeah, I love it.
So real.
Well, it was very, very, very real, you know. It really happened to us. It was really sad. Like we all almost cried, but you know, it was so fun. Like at the end of it, we got a great portfolio piece. And I feel like try to get those kind, like maybe like even if you're not interested in this program, that's okay, because they're like ways you can actually reach out to like startups, and like maybe you don't even have to ask them for a pay. Do it like volunteer, get your designs shipped. I think that would be my biggest value addition.
Yeah, totally. Like I think like as Mommy said, like in this whole 10 week we went through a lot of roller coaster, but that's just literally how designing at a company big or small works, right? Like you would be expecting something, but then there would be other like engineer constraints or like leadership change in like how the vision is gonna go, and then you might pivot completely, or you and then like, but it's like also really important to show the companies that you're interviewing for like how you're able to navigate through all these situations and work with different stakeholders with these ambiguous or complex problems. And that's actually something that like really put you apart from someone who worked on a like school like case study, because like you're like working as a designer, you're also working as part of a team, and like is very people oriented as well. And you could have a teammate that you vibe with or don't vibe with, but like how do you build on each other's work and like make the best out of that. It's like working in a real team, and that's like the learning that you cannot get. But also, yeah, as mommy said, like if you don't want to do this internship course, like I think I said how I got my internships and jobs is just putting myself out there, like asking the people that have the resources, like the founders that are needing some help from design, or like they have engineers, or maybe ask your engineer friends from other schools or something, like, hey, I want to work on this project or want to go to this hackathon with this idea. And like if they build something out and like show how people like use it and try it, and like that's also like super valuable as well.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jen. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, okay, now I think we can go to like answering some questions.
So maybe I'll
so
ask you some questions, or later.
I think like we kind of covered, like,
Okay.
How natural was that? We have like a whole like questioning thing, but like we didn't even have to because we actually like went through most of it ourselves.
True.
Okay. Actually, I kind of got a few questions from Luma. So, and I put it up here. So I thought we can go through that and leave the floor open for other people. Yeah. So the first question I got was like, why should I be a member? So members gain a advantage in job hunting. Honestly, this is like, I'm not saying, none of us are saying that you cannot get a job without like external help. You can definitely get a job without external help. But this is like more of a push. This is more hand holding. This is more guided. This is more transparent. And this is more like it's a community. You feel like you're a part of it with other people also who are going through the same thing as you. Like we have literally one Slack where we all like come together and kind of ask questions and like ask for portfolio reviews and everything. So it's more like that. And membership is a really good way for getting that one-on-one attention after you created all your case studies and everything. And it is honestly the most affordable thing out there, because now even like I was checking out ADP actually, because I had a mentor from ADP who I used to go to a lot. And now they also like have like $100 per session kind of like deal going on. So I'm just like, okay, makes sense, but we're students. We cannot really put that much into it. So next one is, what are outcomes of internships? So it's a 10-week internship program, and it's very intensive. People work for around like 20 hours a week, but that is like extreme cases, but it's like 10 to 15 is good. And it's like you work with like great startups, really good products, mostly AI driven products, because that's kind of the wheel right now. We want everyone to get that kind of like experience. But it does not have to be their levels. And we have a lot of partners, mostly like with YC companies. We have partners with like the top product in Product Hut, and like a lot of like new companies. And now we're like trying to like branch out also to get like bigger companies to come with us. So it's really exciting stuff. And the timeline technically, which is most seen, is like within 18 months, 80 to 90% of the cohort or the class gets an offer. The students get offers, and members get interviews within 3 months of course completion. One of my mentors other than Jen was like, she was also a UXGo alum, and she got into Google, and she was like an alum like I think 3 months ago, and now she was like mentoring me because she got into Google, and like she was like mentoring me about how to like fix my portfolio and everything. So yeah, 1 in 5 team members usually get an offer from the client that they work with like right after the course. So that's also a really great way to network, is that you get to work with them hands-on. So next question, how are UXGo advanced class different from bootcamp? And we get this a lot, and we really don't work like a bootcamp, because we want to give people industry experience more, like it's like hands-on rather than boot camps, which are more theoretical, practical. This is more literally you're getting your hands dirty. And along the way, you get to learn also. Like Jen taught me how to like create components. Like there was a whole class where she tried to like help me create components. And like I don't know if you remember this, Jen, but I was like mind blown. I'm like, what? Is this like actually a thing? um, and like and I went to like a master's program. So you know what? You get to learn something new every day from like amazing people. So I think we're pretty different, and we really focus on you getting a job and not just you clearing the course. So there's a difference. And it's definitely way more like very selective than boot camps because we want everyone to be dedicated. So then how do I start to learn more about the internship? Well, I just linked the page. Go to uxco.com. They have everything. Go through the website. Just get a feel of it. It has everything, very carefully curated stuff. So feel free. And even if you want like have a chat with me, ping me on LinkedIn. And yeah, we can definitely set something up. And now let's leave it to the room.
Is there scholarships for UXGO?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. Yes.
Someone asked.
Please apply. So even if you want to know how much it costs and everything, it's there in the application form. I will link it again, just in case. Give me a jiffy. I feel like the LinkedIn comment section is just not super intuitive.
Yeah, thanks for doing all that.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you just pop up with like your friend, like your buddy, because we think that if you're with your buddy, then both of you would like kind of work together to like do more and be more ambitious. It's like having like a gym buddy and stuff. So get your buddy for the interview, and we'll give you and your buddy discount, a promo.
Yeah. If you go back to, or like if you send any of the slide deck info, it would also maybe help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me pick out a few questions.
Yes.
Yeah, for any like detailed questions about tuition or like scholarships, feel free to go through the website or like reach out to MomView or I or like UXGO to ask for more details.
So the deadline, it's not really fixed yet because we just like kind of opened up. But I think the sooner the better because now we're giving out early bird stuff. So like there's like promo for that. So the earlier the better because it just gets. Oh, the promo code does not work. Okay. That is a technical difficulty on my part. I will fix that. And so we'll be sending the recording to everyone who registered. So I will be sending that out too. And I will also post on my LinkedIn. So make sure like you see that with the actual promo code and everything. So sorry about that. This is my first time like making all of this. So
yeah, you're doing great.
might be my bad. Thank you.
Some questions, yeah, I'm just looking at people are like, oh, they went to hackathons and they got to work with engineers on product and they actually won design award. And like that's great. Yeah, like that's
I love
awesome.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You should definitely like if you guys are in SF, I know like GitHub usually has like their hack nights and those are pretty great. A lot of like amazing engineers like looking for designers to work with. So I would hop on that too. And like I said, if you like join the Design Buddies Discord channel, they usually like post a lot of challenges, hackathons and stuff. So keep an eye out for those. Other things, Other things people can do to get that experience would be just reach out and like ask people. Honestly, just reach out to every founder, every new founder, anyone. Just reach out and be like, show your passion. I think this is one tip that I also got from
Mm.
like my mentor is like you should be genuinely passionate about their product. Like go through their product, see the like what you can actually fix. There was one person who I loved what she did. So she made a video about why she should get hired, and she really wanted to work at TikTok. So she made like a whole case study on like where she would fit in and why she's
Mm.
a good fit for TikTok. And she like literally sent it to the hiring manager.
Nice.
And she got a call. They created a position just for her. So she applied for a senior position, but she was not a senior. But they made a
Mm.
position just for her because she showed that passion that she really wanted it. So I
Yeah.
think that's like a
Yeah, that's a great share. I feel like now that we're on the other side, then we're on the design team, right? So who would we want as our teammates? That it's definitely the people that like have a lot of great ideas and like is a pleasant to work with and like are able to show how they can push themselves to be better and like inspire other teammates as well. So I think if you think from the other perspective, like who would like why would they hire you? Like pitch yourself and like think about like what kind of person I guess the design team would want to work with and what qualities do you have that you think you can bring to the table.
yeah, agreed. And also like to Nancy, she asked, how would you recommend reaching out to startups for volunteering? Or is there a way to find these opportunities? So far, I know there's the option of cold emailing, but I wonder if there's a more effective way.
Yeah, I feel like it's a combination of like going to events and like meeting them there, and that connection is not a lot more natural than sort of cold emailing. I feel like because you make an in-person connection, and maybe like if they like you as a person, they would either create a position for you or just like have you like help out and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think literally last week, also at design event, some founder reached out to me because we met in person. And that's how I also landed my TikTok internship as well. Like I built a connection from in person. Other than that, I know some other friends that are also really good at reaching out to people on LinkedIn and just like I think like the first message you write to them, as Maui said, like maybe you can do more research on like what the product is and like become familiar with it. So then the question you ask or like how you pitch yourself forward is very specific, and it like sparks a conversation. Um, and then so then the person would be like, oh, actually, I can also get value from like this person
Yeah.
while talking to them as well.
Yeah, that's great tip, Jen. And just to add to that, but I also feel like UXCo, like, so we like our model is like we also collaborate with a lot of startups, and we have like really good connects with like a lot of really good startups. So just like being this like part of this community could also help with that.
Yeah.
Like yeah, we could definitely like everyone here is like trying to connect people, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a great way to like join the community and be part of it, so that you can
Mhm.
get something out of it as well.
Yeah, it's funny because at our last event there was like we were doing like a survey of the room, like who's hiring designers, who are designers looking for a job, and we're like, wow, there's actually like a like a matchmaking that could go on here, and
Yeah,
that's like the type of events that Design Buddy and UX Go like hosts, like whether
yeah,
online or offline. So that's a great way to network.
yeah. I agree. Jen, to talk about the like the startup thing that you hosted with Grace, and how like so many founders were there like looking for designers.
Yeah, yeah, because Design Buddy is like the largest design community, right? So then the founders are also going there to be like, oh, I want to look for good designers here.
Yeah,
And I feel like that is definitely something you don't you don't get just from the internet, like randomly emailing people that you've never met. I think the trust is there when it's through a established community. And yeah, and also I remember our speaker Akil, who worked at Microsoft and Ramp and now is a founding designer at Hero. He was talking about how, like, when you're a very new or beginner designer, it's good to work in a team that can give you mentorship and like teach you to do like the things that you would need to get in your bag first. Like when you're playing a game, you're like you don't have any tools, then how do you like beat the monster? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, once you've collected all these skills, you can be joining a medium or smaller startup to be your own manager or boss. But like as Mommy said, like in the beginning, if you're the only designer in the team, you're like, how do I know if my design is good? And like, how do I know if I'm doing designs that are scalable and accessible and all that? So I think, yeah, getting those knowledge is also important.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
Yeah. Just like I feel like just think creative, y'all. Like it's hard, so don't take it personally. I feel like even if you're stuck, don't take it personally. It's not you. It's literally the market. It's just bad. But like you have to also try to like come out of that bubble and try to like do something different. Think out of the box and try to do something different. There are many ways you can actually bag a job, definitely. So I feel like just try to find something that works for you. I'm trying to find some other questions. Okay, I found one. You mentioned that when you were in school, there were not many courses regarding UI UX. Or some of the resources you use to improve on your UI UX? Okay, that's actually a good question. Thank you. If you feel like your thing is not up to mark, what I usually do is I try to get like I would try to like get feedback from people on ADP list or something, but it's kind of hard to get hold of them. So I just try my best and leave it at it. But I think Jen would have a better answer for you.
No, I mean, low-key, I went through similar struggles. It's like between like, do I really want to show everyone this work that I'm not sure about? But also I think it's like about looking at a lot of other people's stuff. Yesterday I found this cool website. What is it? It's called. I mean, sometimes I follow some like. Oh, it's called Mobbin, Mobbi.
Oh, I love Mobbin.
Yeah, like I think just like, I mean, they have all the apps that are already out there, but it's really helpful to like go through these websites, just like look at what good design is. Because I remember the first designs I did, I look back at it, I'm like, holy, it's so bad. It's like everything feels so cramped. And yeah, but I think it's a lot about just like looking at other people's good designs, like observe all the apps and like breaking down the pattern, do app critiques yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I think you get a sense throughout time.
Yeah. I actually really like what Nick said. He said we have to be proactive, not reactive, regardless of the job market. That's a good one.
Correct.
I agree with you. Okay, I think we're at time. But also like thank you everyone for coming, and thank you so much, Jen. I feel like everyone learned so much from you.
Thank you so much, Mobbi. Me
too. And yeah, UXCO is doing some UXCO Design Buddies are doing great stuff. We're collaborating with Adobe, trying to get Figma. We're getting sponsored from Lottie and all other things. So amazing things are to come by. So keep an eye out. And yeah, thank you so much again. And we will be sending everything, all the resources. And I'm really sorry about the promo code and stuff. I will be resending everything to you guys. So don't worry about it. So yeah, thank you again and take care. Good luck with your job hunt. And you can always like reach out to me if you want to talk. And yeah, let me know.
Yay. Yeah,
Okay.
please reach out. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.